My name is Safia. I was born in a small village near the Great Desert, where the sand meets the sky and the nights are filled with stories. My father was a scholar. My mother was a healer. And I used to believe in peace, until the war came. The Romans attacked when I was just 16. They wanted control of the trade routes. The soldiers came with fire and steel. Our home burned. My parents were taken. I don't know if they lived. I ran for my life into the endless desert. For days I walked, hungry, afraid, alone. I had nothing left, except faith. That is when I found him. Not in my homeland, but in the city of stone and law, Rome. I had traveled far, hiding under trade wagons and sleeping under the stars. I reached Rome as a ghost, wearing torn cloth and carrying only my memories. I thought I would be invisible in the city, but then I saw him. His name was Cassian. He wore the armor of a Roman captain. His sword was sharp. His eyes were sharper. But when he looked at me that first time outside the spice market, there was no hate, only surprise. I was trying to help a little boy who had fallen. I didn't know the rules of Rome. I didn't know slaves could be punished for showing kindness. The guards shouted. One raised a whip. That's when Cassian stopped him. "No need," he said calmly. "She's new. Let her go." His voice was strong, but his eyes were soft. I looked into them and saw something I never thought I'd find in a Roman. Mercy. He didn't speak to me after that. He just left. But I never forgot his face. A week later, I was working in the garden of a noblewoman. They gave me a small room near the olive trees. One night, I heard footsteps. I turned, and there he was. "I remembered you," he said. I froze. My heart raced. "I didn't mean to scare you," he added. "I just wanted to know if you're safe." I didn't trust him. Not yet. But I nodded. From that day, he came often, sometimes with bread, sometimes just to talk. Slowly, I began to speak too. I told him my name. I told him I used to laugh before the war. I told him I missed my mother's songs. He listened. Then, he told me his story. Cassian was not born for war. He was born for books. His father, a senator, forced him into the army. He hated blood. He hated orders. But he followed them, because that's what sons must do. I saw two whispers started. A Roman captain seen with a foreign girl. A Muslim girl. A servant. It was dangerous. "You must stop meeting her," a soldier warned him. "She is not one of us," the noblewoman warned me. "But how do you stop your heart?" We kept meeting. In secret. At night. One night, as we sat beneath the stars, Cassian asked, "If there was no Rome, no war, no walls, would you be with me?" I looked at him. "I already am," I said. He held my hand. No words, just silence. But we didn't know someone was watching. My name is Layla, and after that first meeting in the ruined olive grove, nothing in my heart felt the same. Marcus kept returning. Every evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the Roman sky in soft orange and gold, he came. At first, we only exchanged words, soft ones, careful ones. But soon our words turned into laughter, into questions, into silence that spoke louder than anything. I told him about my homeland, far beyond the deserts, where the moon looked like a silver boat floating above minarets. I told him about my mother's songs and the stories my grandfather whispered under the stars. Marcus told me about Rome, but not the Rome people spoke of with pride. He told me about soldiers who burned villages, about orders he couldn't question, and about the silence he kept inside since he was 12. I never believed in anything until I saw your eyes, Layla, he whispered once. My heart trembled. We knew it was dangerous. A Roman soldier and a Muslim girl. It was a story that could only end in whispers or in blood. But love doesn't ask for permission. One night changed everything. The sky was full of thunder. The wind roared through the trees. I was helping Ammi grind herbs when a knock came at our wooden door. It was Marcus. But this time, he wasn't in his Roman armor. He looked wounded, a cut across his arm, dirt on his face. They found out, he said breathlessly. The captain saw us near the grove. My breath caught in my throat. If they catch me with you, they'll call you a traitor, he said. I can't let them hurt you, Layla. He handed me a small scroll. Inside, I found and in that moment, I stepped forward. He is not your enemy, I cried. He is mine. They paused, shocked by my accent, my veil, my words. He protected me from thieves. He never betrayed Rome. He only saved me. Marcus looked at me, tears in his eyes. He knew I had just risked everything. But then, something happened. From behind the trees, more shadows moved. Not soldiers. My brother, my cousin, my uncle. They had followed me. The grove became a war of shouts and screams. One of the Romans struck my uncle. My cousin leapt forward. Swords clashed, blood spilled. Marcus tried to stop it. Enough! Stop! But no one listened. I screamed his name. Marcus! He turned, and a blade pierced his side. My heart stopped. I ran to him as the world blurred around me. I held his face, my hands trembling. I'm sorry, I sobbed. He smiled faintly. If I die now, let it be with your name on my lips. And then he closed his eyes. They left his body there. I wasn't allowed to mourn. My family said he was the enemy, but my heart knew the truth. I returned to the grove every night, lighting a small oil lamp by the tree where we first met. I buried the scroll he gave me. I planted an olive sapling. One day, I will tell our story. Not because I want the world to remember a Roman and a Muslim girl who met under a dying tree, but because I want the world to remember that even in war, love blooms. The sun rose with a golden hue over the hills of Palmyra, but in my heart there was no light. I was Aelius, a Roman soldier, once proud and brave, but now I was only a man in love and in pain. It had been 3 nights since Layla was taken by her people. They said she had betrayed her faith and honor by falling in love with a Roman. They said she had dishonored her tribe, but they didn't know the truth. Layla didn't betray anyone. She only followed her heart. I had tried to reach her. I had sent messages through merchants, offered gold, even begged her brother to let me speak with her. No answer. Every night, I sat outside the desert camp, just hoping for a glimpse. I remembered her smile, soft like the moonlight, her hands that once held mine, trembling and warm. I remembered the last thing she whispered before they dragged her away. "Promise me, don't forget me." I never could. "They'll kill us. They'll kill you, Alias." I looked into her eyes and said, "Then let me die in love, not in fear." We made a plan. One night later, under the crescent moon, we would meet at the old Roman bridge. We would ride away on 2 horses I had stolen from the garrison. I had hidden coins, food, water, everything we needed to vanish into the wilderness. It was a crazy plan. But when the world is cruel, love is the only madness worth having. The night arrived. I stood at the bridge, waiting. 1 minute passed, then 5, then 10. No sign of her. My chest began to tighten. Every sound made me turn my head. Every shadow became a hope. Then I heard the soft beat of horse hooves. And there she was, Layla. Her eyes were red, like she had cried 1,000 tears. Her lips trembled, and her hands gripped the reins tightly. "Alias," she whispered. But something was wrong. Behind her, I saw the flicker of torches, voices. "They followed me," she gasped. I tried. I really tried. I grabbed her hand and pulled her to my horse. "We ride now." We raced into the night like 2 flames running from the wind. Behind us, shouts echoed. Arrows flew past. I felt one slice my arm, but I didn't stop. All I saw was her. All I wanted was her. But fate had other plans. As we neared the canyon pass, Layla's horse stumbled. She fell. I turned back, my heart screaming, and lifted her into my arms. Blood. There was blood on her side. "No, no, no. Layla," I cried. She smiled faintly, her hand touching my face. "You promised you wouldn't forget me." "Never," I whispered, tears falling. "Then remember this," she said, her voice fading. "Even if the world ends, I loved you." Her eyes slowly closed, her heart stopped, and my world broke. I buried her beneath the olive tree, the one where we first met. The moon hung low, silent. The stars refused to shine. I placed her necklace in the soil, a small crescent made of silver, the symbol of her faith. I placed my Roman eagle pin beside it. 2 worlds that never belonged together, but did for a moment. Years passed. I left the army,